Alright, we're back, and this is about a day after I did the Azure Imperial summons, or supplies. Yeah, I don't know why I said summons, but anyway, we're back here to do the elf supply to get the Book of Fuxi, and I'm gonna get her maxed out. That's why I went ahead and got more crystals. Yeah, I think I left off on the other video, from the other video with 6,000 crystals, so I got about 11,000 more or less. Some of them came from dailies and stuff like that, but in general, I bought most of them, in case you're wondering where they came from. So, I did buy out all the tickets from the bundles, but I think they only amount to like 51 tickets or something like that. I'm not too sure where the others came from. I don't think I had any leftover from when we did Saloon's Elegy. Maybe it came from the drawing event, but I don't think we get that many, do we? No idea. Anyway, let's go back to the banner. So yes, we're gonna try to pull for her and try to get enough fragments or parts, whatever you call them, to max her out. And then we're gonna look at the skills just to give people a rough idea of whether or not it's gonna be worth going for her and how many stars you want her to be at. So as you can see, they did not add the drop rate for elves this time. But basically, it should be the same as the last time, with the exception of Blood Embrace not being in the banner. So when we did Saloon's Elegy, Blood Embrace was also in the banner. I don't know if they took it out because it affects drop rate. Like, you know, you tend to get more Blood Embrace, and it kind of makes it harder to get the S rank. I feel it should be better, you know, than before. So that's what I'm counting on. Like, previously I spent 28,000 crystals. In total, I did have elf tickets as well. Not as many as this time, but yeah, that was the total spending. So now I do have 76 elf tickets, which equals to 11,400 crystals, and then I topped up to, you know, 17,851, and that together is, you know, slightly more than 28,000. So yeah, I have not touched any of my elves yet. I'm mainly being mindful of the Mind Stone. No pun intended. But as you guys would already know, instead of using the Mind Stone to unlock talent slots, now we use them to learn the talents in each of their unique skill trees. And so, you know, I wanted to make sure that I have enough for the Book of Fuxi once I get her to 4 stars, and then I'll work on, like, whichever elf will need their talents to be learned, and then we'll move from there, you know? So I'm just being careful with my resources. That's why I've left it untouched. And yes, here we are. Let's hop right into it. Parts, right. They're not called fragments, they're called parts. Well, whichever. As long as I get more of them, I'm not gonna care what they're called. No way! Wow, 13 pulls! That's like a record or something. You know, I hope I get all 4 copies in 13 pulls. But let's not jinx it. Let's keep going. Parts again, and that's the maximum amount. So it's 2 to 4, and we got 4, and a copy of the character card, or the elf version of a character card. Amazing. This is like super fast. I was not expecting this, but it's still too early to be happy because we need 3 more copies, potentially 4 if we do not get enough fragments. So that could be scary. The last time that was how I got Saloon's Elegy to 4 stars. Like, I only needed, how many did I need? I can't remember, but I think I needed like close to 20 fragments or parts. That's what they call it. And then I had to pull like all the way to get another character card, and that gives you 105. So I have like way too many extra fragments, and I don't know what to do with them. I don't think MiHoYo knows what to do with them right now either. So they're just sitting down there, waiting for someone to make a decision on what S-rank elf parts can be used for. But either way, you know, not complaining. Just leave it there. That should be fine. Okay, 2 parts. We've gotten parts every 10 pulls. Is there some kind of new guarantee that we don't know about? Or maybe it's written somewhere, I just don't know about it. Well, you can let me know in the comments down below. I now have 8 parts, and we're just gonna need 50 to get to 2.1 stars, and I really can't remember how many fragments we need. Before doing the video, I asked around and was told that we need 3 copies if we have enough fragments at the point in time, otherwise we need 4. So let's keep going. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we now have a 10 pull guarantee for parts. So every 10 pulls, one of the 10 pulls will be parts. Like, at least one of the 10 pulls will be the part of the new S-rank elf. I mean, that's just coming from observation. Maybe it's written somewhere that I don't know. But yeah, I'll go find out after the video. Okay, so we're gonna have to start spending crystals now. Fortunately, I mean, within 70 pulls, we did get at least 1 copy of Fuxi. I mean, Book of Fuxi, so that's really good. 23 parts in. And, yeah, so I think I'm gonna do a few single pulls. Oh, should I use them all? Or maybe... Alright, I'm gonna push it down to 40. And then... Yeah, we're just gonna push it down to 40 and then use crystals to push down the remainder of the guarantee. I mean, the guarantee counter. I hope I don't have to use all 40 to get the next copy. Let's go. Alright, 40 more pulls to our first copy, and then we'll need 2 more. Hopefully only 2 more, provided, you know, I have enough parts at that point in time. But yeah, so any of the copies that will require me to hit guarantee, which is 100 pulls, will definitely... I mean, I can only do 2, I guess. And if that happens, I will have to top up, but oh! Here we go! Alright, cool. First copy is in. So, like I was saying though, like if any 2 parts, any 2 of the 4 cards that we're getting requires me to hit 100 pulls, I will have to buy a few crystals, I think. But statistically speaking, we shouldn't have to do that. And that's one of the reasons why I like to do gacha videos, because, you know, I like to refer to other gacha videos when I play other games, just to kind of get a feel of the statistics. So, that's why I do them for the main game that I'm playing. Yeah, so let's keep going. Alright, we have done quite a number of pulls here. I'm 6,000 crystals in. Am I? Yeah, I am. And, at this point, I can't even guarantee... I mean, I can't even hit a guarantee, like, totally, because that'll take 100 pulls. So it's kinda scary, but like I keep saying, you know, statistically speaking, we should still be fine. And, I'm okay with topping up, but I feel like if I have to go above 28,000, that would be kind of sad, because Saloon's Elegy at 28,000 crystals was actually, like, the top of anyone spending to get an elf to 4 stars. So I'm really hoping that this time I don't have to spend as much. But, you know, I'll settle with 28,000, just don't go above it. That's gonna be really scary. Alright, let's keep going. There we go. About halfway through the 100 pull guarantee, we got the third... Wait. Yeah, third card, but second copy. Alright, we're gonna have to check on the parts. I'm pretty sure this is only the 3rd card, right? So, I might have misunderstood. Okay, I have 249 parts. And I have not upgraded yet. So, is it 250? Whoa. Alright, I'm gonna upgrade it here. I mean, evolve it, whatever. So it's 2.1 stars, and then we get to 3 stars? And then after that, yeah. And then it's 3.1, 3.2, so is it 50? Oh my god. You know, we hardly get any elves. I can't even remember. Okay, so it's... What? Oh, level 80? Sure. Alright, so I misunderstood. We need 3 cards in total. Not 1 card and 3 copies, but 3 cards in total. With enough fragments, otherwise... We're gonna need... Oh! Wait, let me check it out. So wait, let me do my calculations. 100... Oh. Alright, maxed out. Okay, cool. 105 per copy. So that's 1 base. 2 copies will be 210, and then we need 40 parts. Right, so, oh no. Well, watch videos to the end, alright? Because earlier I said 1 card and 3 copies, but it's actually 3 copies and 40 fragments. Parts. 40 parts. I keep saying fragments. Okay. Well, what do you know? I have 49 over 50. All I need is 1 more part. Not even a card, just 1 more part. And here we go. Alright, so since I do not need a card at all I need is a part. We're just gonna do single pulls, because eventually we'll just get there, right? If I'm gonna do a 10 pull now, I know within the 10 pulls I have a guarantee for parts, but we don't want to spend over what we have to, right? So let's keep going with single pulls. Oh, hey there! That's all we needed. Nice. I still have 8,851 crystals. So I spent way less than I did with Saloon's Elegy. I am really happy about that. And we didn't go too far above the needed parts. I only have 2 extra. And yeah, we're about to learn all the skills. Let's just get out of that window first and then go officially, go into... Whoa, whoops. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so let's just get out of this window and then officially go into the elf home. And then I'm gonna do, all the upgrades and stuff. By the way, yeah, that one line down there, remaining elf supply guarantee drops will not be passed on to the next elf supply event. I'm at 94, I'm fine with that. I mean, even if I were at, 4, I don't even know why I would need an extra copy. But anyway, here we are. So these are the 4 skills that you will need more than the base 2 stars to learn, of which only 2 of them are gonna be, super useful. This one, of course, after using Fuxi's skill, you will get additional elemental damage to enemies still in the circle. And then, this one's okay. It's additional elf damage, but most of the damage will be coming from your DPS anyway. And then, alright, what's this? Within 6 seconds of a free will is another skill. I'll have to cover that later. And then, the one and only skill you learn at 4 stars. So when maxed out, this skill provides 6% more elemental damage for your entire team when all members are of different types. Yeah, sounds like I'm explaining a leader skill, right? Somewhere, yeah, it's somewhere at that level. I mean, given that it's an elf, 6% passive, just for having the elf with you, that is pretty insane, because before, you wanted to get extra 6% elemental damage, you gotta do it by unlocking a gene limit, and that's gonna cost you Harmony Strands. Are those what they're called? I think so. Anyway, this is not gonna cost you anything after you learn it, right? All you have to do is bring the Book of Fuxi and meet the requirement. But the problem is, not many people will be able to meet that kind of a requirement. You might be giving up some DPS with a full, let's say, a full Psychic team, just to try and activate this passive. So, if your arsenal is not properly equipped to match that passive skill, then you're better off not getting her to 4 stars, and that's why I say, these kind of skills are really situational. You might want them, but then again, after getting them, you might just not ever be using it. There are certain Valkyries or weapons that I have, which I initially wanted, and after getting, hardly ever used. So, I'm just gonna go through all the other skills, the 2-star skills, so people get a better understanding of how important the Book of Fuxi is. So basically, to me, this is the most powerful skill, and you automatically learn it. So it forces a QTE of any teammates capable of dealing fire damage. So, you know, Phoenix, Azure Imperia, Vermilion Knight, Flame Sakutama, who else is Sakuno Rondo. You know, some of the fire DPS have really hard to activate QTEs, and it can be really useful to be able to just activate them without having to bring another teammate with a trigger. Aside from that, of course, that one active skill also provides you with additional 10% elemental damage against enemies hit by it. So yeah, that's one hell of an active skill. Anyway, so we're moving on to the other basic skills. These are basically kind of like the talent trees. What was that called? Was that the talent bank? Right, these are basically like talent bank skills. You know, it regenerates more SP each time she does a basic attack with a 2-second cooldown. You know, these are like really basic stuff. That's why it says basic over there. Yeah, you know, basic attack has a 9% chance to deal 100% more fire damage. Maxed out is 18% chance at 200% fire damage with a 10-second cooldown. And of course, the last one of the basic skills, so you will deal, your elf Book of Fuxi will deal more damage against ignited enemies. Like I was saying though, you don't really rely on your elf's damage, so it's nice to have, but you don't really need that. But yeah, just take note, you deal more damage against ignited, she deals more damage. And then for this one, increases the whole team's QTE damage by 15%, and that's total damage by the way, so she can force out the QTE, and then she buffs it as well. That is a pretty insane combo. And then for this one, you buff the whole team's fire damage by 9%, 6% ice and lightning damage when the leader is a battlesuit that's capable of dealing fire. So that skill in particular is very well suited for Azure Imperia, but of course any other leaders that are fire can also use it. Vermilion Knight is one of them that's gonna use that really well as well. Okay, so this is free will. This is the one I was talking about. So when a Valkyrie performs an ultimate evasion, Book of Fuxi will buff her for 8% fire damage for 8 seconds. It has a 15-second cooldown, but yeah, after learning this skill, it shortens it by 11 seconds. I'm hoping that's not a translation error. But if you're shortening it by 11 seconds, it only has a 4-second cooldown. That's pretty insane. I don't really understand why it's done this way, and it doesn't really say anything about refreshing or stacking. Not being able to stack is a given, right? You're definitely not gonna be able to stack a skill like that. That's gonna be crazy. Also, to let you know what the limit of stacking is, so we can rule that out. But aside from that, it doesn't say anything about, like, refreshing. It's kind of weird. Maybe it was an oversight, or maybe that's supposed to say lowers the cooldown to 11 seconds instead of lowering it by 11 seconds. I'm pretty sure it's by 11 seconds though. So yeah, let's just take it at that. Lasts for 8 seconds and has a 4-second cooldown. Right. Anyway, so we've focused too much on this skill. It's a small issue. Let's move on to the 3 and 4-star skills. So, for the 3-star skill, this one is really great. It basically just buffs the basic active skill of Book of Fuxi, because as you guys just saw, it gives you an additional 10% elemental damage to enemies in the circle. This one provides yet another 10%, and it lasts for 5 seconds. Crazy. It's good, it's good. But at the same time, do you really need it when you have, like, the QTE trigger? I think it's okay not to have it, but if you do have the extra crystals lying around, or B-chips, you can buy the tickets, then go for it. Else all elemental damage increases by 15% when there are 2 battlesuits capable of dealing fire damage on the team. This one is not too hard to trigger, but then again, it's the elf's damage, so not extremely top priority. Within the next 6 seconds after triggering free will, the Valkyrie's next charge and combo attack Deals additional 120% AoE fire damage. This is useful. This is crazy. I mean, yeah, if you use this on the Vermilion Knight, if you use this on Flame Sakitama, you're gonna get quite a lot out of it. So, you know, but then again, it's only for fire, whereas the QTE trigger and the elemental damage works for any element. And the QTE trigger doesn't even have to be used with an elemental Valkyrie, so that's basically what you want out of the elf. And then we're back to this skill. So as you can see, 6% more elemental damage. That's pretty much a gene limit. And that sums it all up. I don't know if this has been, like, super helpful, because I'm just, like, scrolling around and talking. You know, it's not really like my overview videos, but I hope it gives anyone who's still on the fence on whether or not they want to get the Book of Fuxi a better idea of what her worth is, and also a better idea on whether or not that would be a wise way to spend your crystals. Personally, for me, like, I went for the, okay, so let's talk about, like, my F2P account in the Chinese server, right? I went for the Velt set. I also got the Key of Reason. I got 2 parts of Velt. I mean, yeah, I did get 2 parts of Velt. Unfortunately, one was a duplicate, but that took priority because my base teams are doing really badly. But in hindsight, if I went for the Book of Fuxi instead, that would also have been a good spending. It's just, you know, I felt that I wanted to build a better Valkyrie first, and that account is in its really early stages, right? But if you've been playing for like a year, you should have slightly better equipment and slightly better teams than I do on that account. And going for the Book of Fuxi, especially since we don't know when elves are repeated, going for that first is actually going to help you a lot in any kind of mode. You know, in Abyss, in Memorial Arena, especially in the Memorial Arena, because unlike Valkyries and equipment, elves can be brought into every single battle that you need them to be brought into. Yeah, right. Okay, anyway, so that's the point, right? So you don't lock them into a boss, you can just bring them anywhere you want to, and that free QTE trigger, that's gonna help you a lot. Chances are you're gonna have to fight like 1 or 2, you know, 3 maybe sometimes, 0 maybe sometimes 2, but on average, you know, you fight 1 or 2 bosses that are weak against elemental damage. And by the way, we also get like 500 crystals back after getting the Book of Fuxi. So yeah, I'm not trying to say that she's like a super godlike pull, but, you know, I would skew towards getting her instead of discouraging people from getting her. So that's all for now. All the best to you guys if you're pulling for her. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.